The Merlin Mighty Podcast. This is your host, Tiefling, speaking. Fuck that other guy.
Look, man, when you get your own channel, which I'm trying to help you do, like, then you can do your own intros, however you want to do them, like, Love Me Senpai or whatever you're going to say. He always steals my intro every podcast now. It's starting to become a thing. Merlin the Mighty. Tiefling already announced himself. We got Bass Xevrix over here.
Hi. Joe doesn't want me to play with dice because apparently
if anybody that watched last podcast, it wasn't bad quality, but literally every comment was like, oh yeah, and robots taking over. You know, like,
I don't remember talking about robots.
That was the man behind the camera, actually. Mr. Gimili is deciding to be my first camera person.
It's a really close beard shot.
A really close mouth shot.
Close enough.
Yes, feel free. I think you need to actually have that. See?
There. See? Much better.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, that's Gimili. I actually, as usual, am not that prepared. So I'm actually going to put this on Mr. Bass Xevrix because I know he wants to leave. Keep this fairly short. What would your topic be, if any, for tonight, sir? If not, I can come up with something.
What were your favorite web series back in, like, 2008?
Web series?
2008?
Yeah. You know, like...
Well, actually...
memes of the web that occurred on YouTube.
I actually have an answer for this.
Like,
okay, do you want to go first?
Sure.
No, wait, no. Bass, it's your topic, so you actually have to answer first.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's YouTube poop. But there's YouTube poop, there's Charlie the Unicorn, there's also llamas with hats.
That's really old school.
No one's mentioning the elephant in the room?
The Ultimate Showdown?
Ultimate Showdown.
Red versus Blue?
Oh, that was pretty big.
That was probably the biggest and most successful out of all of them.
Well, I think that there was one even before, I guess if we're going by the time period of 2008, but... God, I'm blanking on what it's called.
I actually have an answer for this.
Was Edward...
Homestar Runner.
What's Homestar
Runner?
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
You can't bring this up on
Background check.
We'll get copyright strike.
Fact check. We're bringing up some evidence. This is not copyright.
But there's also...
thank you for the web series.
There's also things like Edgeworld and... YouTube poop.
Yeah,
Stop bringing up YouTube poop.
Homestar Runner.
What's Homestar Runner about? I don't think I even know of that one, actually.
Flash animated internet cartoon. And when was it?
Oh, Runner.
Launched January 1st in the year 2000. Homestar Runner.
Okay, I was thinking of Homestuck for some reason.
No.
Homestuck, I'm pretty sure Homestuck is on permanent hiatus.
But that's an interesting question. I mean, the interesting thing you bring that up is, to be honest, my experience with online content and pop culture online is actually kind of post 2008. Like, it wasn't until I actually got into college around that time that I started using the internet a lot more personally. And my first introduction to internet series was probably actually in 2009 with one of my big inspirations, because my favorite types of web series, as you guys might guess, are people that do reviews and satires of things. And the first guy I ever saw was actually Linkara.
Really?
Linkara was my introduction to Channel Awesome, because I remember I saw his top 15 comics he'd never review thing. Without any contest, I thought it was a good video, and I started watching his stuff. And then shortly after that, I started watching Doug Walker's Nostalgia Critic, and then a lot of the Channel Awesome people. And then for a couple of years after that, and you guys know about this, like Spoonie and Brad Jones, all those people, I was obsessed with Channel Awesome. That's kind of like right around post-2008 on, but really for a couple of years I loved that. And that's been one of my primary inspirations, is the various different Channel Awesome styles. But yeah, that's probably my answer is Linkara, but that's really more 2009, but technically existed in 2007. But that's sort of my answer.
You know, Linkara was the first one I saw from Channel Awesome too, and that's only because you guys had brought it was either you or Troll that brought one of his first DVDs.
Troll brought Linkara's first DVD.
Oh, I didn't know
with
you had
all
that.
of his free.
The one that had the reviews of Daredevil.
Oh, that's awesome. I really like the Channel Awesome stuff. You know what? I guess I don't want to like take. Actually, first, Gimli, would you answer? Do you have an answer for 2008?
I do not.
You do not?
I didn't actually talk about.
I never really got into internet series until after college, which was like
More recently.
Okay,
that's cool. Well,
2010.
That's fine. Okay, expand on your answer then. Tell me more about that one. Why do you like
Red
that?
versus Blue? It's just, it took... I guess it was my first introduction to Machinima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually died down a lot.
Oh,
recently.
yeah.
They were pretty big
I think
for a
Red
while.
versus Blue is the only Machinima that's still technically going on right now.
They
for the most part.
do video game related content though, still, don't they?
Oh yeah, they have
Oh,
they have
yeah.
Achievement Hunter now. They have Funhouse. They have a lot of video game related. But most of Rooster Teeth's company is based on video game and video game news.
But I guess they do other
But
stuff too, because I remember
They have
back,
Ruby now. They're doing really really good for
They
themselves.
have Ruby, which is partnered with Warner Brothers and Crunchyroll.
I believe some movie studios also use Machinima as like their first like trailer postings.
Machinima itself, like the channel,
Yeah.
and the group itself are
Doing very well for
they're one of the biggest
Because
right now.
I'll tell you guys something else.
Not
about
getting
Machinima.
into politics about how Machinima runs themselves, but
I don't know too much about.
I
that.
do, and they're fucking horrible. They were.
They
were horrible.
There are a lot of definite old horror stories about creators being fucked over by old Machinima.
You know, this is kind of related to another topic I want to go into, but I'll come back. No, actually, no, I'll stick with it. It's an interesting kind of, I guess, quasi-philosophical topic about, creating, especially online, web series, YouTube, and even maybe this channel specifically.
Is it if it's someone else's property? Is it really yours if you create something different from it?
It's related to that. It's kind of related to that idea. Like, for instance, as an example, it's the whole like integrity versus success argument that every creator has to go through, and one of the big examples is Channel Awesome. Actually, like, I mean, obviously, Channel Awesome originally started out with just Doug doing silly little videos on YouTube, and eventually blossomed to this big business where he's got a lot of people working with him and for him. And if
You can tell with the change in quality of even just the nostalgic videos.
I'm not going to try. Okay, I will say that I remember that like a year or two ago, like half the creators left, and there were some issues with the board and some people getting preferential treatment. And thinking to myself, you start off just trying to do fun videos about stuff you love, and then it becomes a way to make money. But how do you kind of salvage that? Because, as far as like the critic himself, I feel like he was going through a dark time where I remember he tried to do that launch of that one other show. He tried to stop being critic for a while. Mm-hmm. That didn't do well.
That guy with the glasses?
It was the
Pixel Palace?
No, what was that called? He just did like fake scripts of movies that already existed. But then he went back to being the nostalgia critic and then brought other people into the show to kind of make it like a combination. And I actually think that his videos have gotten better again, but I think that he's kind of combined the good production he has now with still the spirit of it. But for a while, I think he was struggling a bit. Like, personally, I don't know what it is. Like, for me, I kind of like the charm of old classic, even unrefined things. Like, just to give you an example, like, I was doing these Mexico trilogy reviews for Troll, which I haven't finished yet. I'm behind, sorry. El Mariachi, which is like this $5,000 like movie, I like it a lot because they did a lot with that little bit, and it's really low budget, but it's cool. And old school video games, for instance, like the really like old school NES stuff, there's a charm to that I think is the reason that's still popular today, even with all the really expanded stuff.
Look, the best movie ever is Who Killed Captain Alex.
Yes, as an example, like
Who Killed
by
Captain
the way,
Alex?
by the way, guys, if you have watched this, go check out I Hate Everything's Captain Alex. I want to actually pay to get
Put a
that
link
movie.
in.
I will. I'm going to do that.
Link in the description.
I'm going to actually buy Captain Alex, and I want us to like riff it and stuff because that's what I'm talking about. Like, you get out the biggest, production value from a full Hollywood studio movie, but there's
create
that
a soulless piece of shit.
and make a soulless piece of crap because it's based on a board of directors, marketing, just to pump it out to be some forgotten thing. And these guys, like these Ugandans who are just trying to make the best they can with what little they have so much energy that even though it's kind of crappy, it's still fun. And I know my question's getting lost here. I guess, how do you prevent that from happening, or if you can, because it's a struggle.
I personally feel like if you find yourself at the point where you're no longer doing it for fun and you're doing it for the sake of making money and treating it like a business, I feel like you've really lost what you originally were trying to do. So I think you should take maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, because you can, if you're that successful, I'm pretty sure you can.
You could probably take a break.
You can take a short break and just find your,
You know what?
what you really want to do.
Because I'll be honest, I've been feeling that way about my channel sometimes.
I'll use a YouTuber known as Etika, when his channel is
Who's that?
Etika.
Etika News Network.
Yeah, Etika News Network.
Okay.
There was like maybe a year and a half ago, where he had actually sat down and recorded a video of saying, "I'm sorry for what this channel has become. This isn't what the channel was originally supposed to be like." Because originally it just made the channel to shitpost and post Smash news.
To get views, probably.
No, just because he liked Smash Brothers and wanted to share that stuff, the kind of stuff with like-minded people.
I thought you meant like Smash, like gossip, Super Smash.
No.
Okay, I was
No,
thinking
no, no.
Smash Bros.
Back
I was
when,
thinking smashing people news. Okay, gotcha.
No,
Okay.
when Smash 4 was coming out, he was doing all that. Then he had rebranded himself as Young Ramsey after he had promised a cooking show to people.
Oh.
And he actually like sat down and realized this isn't what his channel was supposed to become, or even what he wanted it to be.
Huh.
So,
I don't know if that's an answer to the question.
basically take a look at what you're doing. Like, if you feel like, I feel like you can tell if you feel like you've lost your, I don't want to say integrity, but like
You know
Your
when
passion.
you know when your passion is gone, and if you feel if you suddenly find yourself without it, you should take a break from what you're doing and just objectively look at it.
Well, in the case of Machinima, I'm guessing it is just kind of a board of directors, and it is a company at this point that owns different creators. So that channel,
Well, here's the thing.
Did it start out that way?
Machinima itself was the art of making stupid, shitty, funny videos over video game footage, and that is dead now.
except everybody kind of does that now, sort of.
Yes and
They
no.
tried to make scripted stories.
Oh,
At least most groups.
satire.
And it worked sometimes.
Yeah.
It depended at first on the game. Like,
Take the game
Like-
Halo.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
with
what
red
versus Blue.
Yeah.
The most successful. I think the reason they can still continue is because
It works.
it works, and they were funny, and they built themselves like a world and a narrative.
And people still
that
kind of
works
like
for them.
those.
They legitimately, the creators of Halo took a look at them and were like, "This is fucking funny. This happens in our universe. This
is a
canon.
thing.
They
This is
have
a
their
thing."
blessing. They took and just like a small thing called griff ball, where one of your teammates is the ball, and you have to get him into the goal without him dying. That's a
Based
thing
on
that
the
happened in
character.
Red versus Blue.
That's based off of a one-line joke in Red versus Blue, and they created
and
it.
now it's actually like
A game
in
mode.
the game.
In Halo 3,
in the game mode.
based on the difficulty that you're playing, if you go to... I know everybody knows about this that has played the game. If you go to a special out-of-the-way room, I think it was in like the first or third level, you get to hear a conversation between somebody locked out of a room and somebody locked in a room. And depending on what difficulty you're on, it was a different character from the show Red vs. Blue actually in the video game.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
I think they had something in Halo 4. I dropped off the series after Reach. I think they had something in Halo 4. I'm not sure if they have anything in Halo 5, but like they took what they were doing, they have fun with it, and they're running with it. Like they enjoy what they're making, and when they didn't enjoy what they were making, they kind of stopped
Yeah.
and took a break.
Reassessed and
Reassessed.
what they wanted it to be.
And looked at what it was originally meant to be, looked at what they wanted from it, and put out what they wanted.
I feel like you could say that about almost every industry out right now.
Yeah.
The entertainment.
Yeah.
Just take a break. Just stop making movies for a year, or comics for a year, and let old stuff play for a year, and then come back with new ideas.
Just give
take a break.
everybody give everybody a month to just do nothing.
So
To
oversaturated.
Just think.
like, I'm really glad there wasn't an Assassin's Creed game this year. That means like Ubisoft took a step back, because I'm pretty sure they had one planned for this year. It was called like Liberty or something, and they decided no, we're going to take a step back and reassess.
Well, they
everything
had the
that is
movie that was
Assassin's
coming
Creed.
out, and they were like,
Oh, that
and then We're not here to talk about the movie.
But the movie was bad. I just want to put that on record.
We're not here to talk about the movie.
So bad.
But they took a step back, and we're waiting to see what they do next.
All right.
Because they've had a year off, and we're like, wow,
good.
they've just been putting out samey, generic, for lack of a better word, shit for the past
You're not wrong.
couple of years now.
All right. Well, I kind of took us off track with that a little bit, but it's still related to web series. No, good topic, the way Xevrix. Tiefling, did you have anything particular you wanted to talk about tonight?
Nothing in particular. Is kind of. I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild.
And what are your thoughts about it so far? Can you give me a brief review of Breath of the Wild?
No,
thus far?
fuck no. He can't give you that.
He could give me his impressions.
Give me like a solid paragraph description of
How do
what
you
it
feel
is.
I'm
about Breath
40
of-
hours into the game. I haven't done any of the main bosses, and I'm enjoying 100% of my time in it.
That's awesome. But would you say it's the best so far then? Because it's so open world?
I wouldn't necessarily call it the best Legend of Zelda game ever because I personally have not completed it. I would like to view it as a whole before I make that kind of assessment, but I'm having the most fun that I've had with the Zelda game for a while.
That's completely fair. I know you're a big Legend of Zelda fan. I remember when Skyward Sword came out, you were like obsessed with that for a while too.
I have an unpopular opinion in the Legend of Zelda fandom.
Really?
I personally like Skyward Sword, and I feel like A Link to the Past is overrated.
I thought everyone liked Ocarina of Time the most though.
No.
What, really?
There's a divide between people who like Ocarina of Time and people who like Link to the Past.
Actually, from what I understand though, there's also a third group, the Majora's Mask people.
I like
The Majora's
Which
Mask
seems very interesting to me.
The Majora's Mask shit posters need to go die. And I'm only saying that because Base Everest likes Majora's Mask the most. I actually enjoy the game myself. But if I had to pick a favorite out of the Legend of Zelda games, I'd have
The
to go
Four
with
Swords.
The Four Swords was the worst game.
Main series games.
That was.
I never even heard of it though.
Four Swords?
No, I never have.
You've never played the game where there's Green Link, Red Link, Blue Link, and Purple Link?
Let me tell you, I will admit, even though I got the poster back there, my knowledge of Legend of Zelda is pretty much just limited to 2 games. Can you guess what they were?
Ocarina and Majora?
Yes, because when I was a kid, those were on the N64, so I knew about them.
I'd have to go with my first exposure to the Legend of Zelda series, which was Ocarina of Time. I played Ocarina of Time when I was so young. I used the guidebook to that game to learn how to read.
No, it was very cool. Like, I think in terms of an introduction to RPG, Ocarina of Time is probably one of the best. It's probably up there
Staring
with,
at me.
like, Chrono
Well,
Trigger.
it wasn't if you would have moved your head.
Stop staring at me.
He did zoom in on you last time. You probably didn't,
He's
see
trying to
that
get a
for
good
it.
picture of the poster, idiot.
Yeah,
But then you moved your head and
you're blocking
then
the
it
view,
just
man.
went,
Ooh. But yeah, with Chrono Trigger, with
No,
all the
it's
Final
too late
Fantasy
now.
games, good for
But
a good
basically-
start up there.
I've been playing a lot of this. Is being an open world really necessary for an RPG to be good? Because I feel like there's been an oversaturation of just turning games into open world experiences.
I'm glad you brought that up because I actually was talking, well, not really talking. I observed this observation of one of my YouTube friends, Von the Stampede. He talks about like Digimon and stuff. Said that he was getting really tired of the fact that every RPG was an open world game. Now, personally, I love open world games because you have your main story, you have other side missions, but you could just wander around like in a sandbox and have fun. But I will also confess, personally,
How open is too open though?
That's the thing.
Yes.
I will admit, like personally, I like Skyrim a lot. I love the Elder Scrolls and Fallout a lot.
but you don't play no one plays those games for their main story.
But like that's the way. Maybe it's because of my like ADHD mentality. But I have a hard time focusing, and that's why my favorite genre of gaming is like action adventure because I got my goal, I got my good story, but I go point to point to point. I will get distracted by the side quests, and not just side
the
quests,
smallest.
like Dragon Age is good because there's side quests, but you have the main quest, side quest, but you can't just wander around and do nothing. You have to kind of go.
I'll give you my first hour of Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
I wake up, I walk out of main temple, world opens before me, zooms in on dude sitting over here doing a thing, and then there's a thing behind him. That's cool. Hey, a bird in front of me flew over there. What's over there? I shit you not. 2.5 hours later, wasn't I supposed to be doing something?
But is that a bad thing?
Not necessarily.
You're getting enjoyment out of the game,
I'm
right?
getting enjoyment, but I don't...
Do you feel compelled to go through the story?
I very much do. Like, in this game, they chose to make an open world game.
Yeah.
Where
That's
Zelda...
too open world?
It's too open for the formula that they have. Zelda is in danger. Save her. Okay, I'm gonna go save her.
After I go fishing or something.
No, the way to go save her is you can just walk to the end of the game and save her.
Oh yeah, you can skip right to that part and you'll die, but
No, you can win.
You don't
If you're
even
good
have to
enough at the
level up,
game, you can win.
Wait, no, that can't be right. You're not saying
No,
that.
that's fair.
no.
Wait.
If you're good enough at the game, you should be able to win.
Wait, so you mean you don't have to like level up before you go there?
There is no leveling up.
But that's a
There's
basic.
getting good enough gear and finding the Master Sword and like
So you don't.
other plot stuff, but you could literally walk up to the end boss, fight him, and win.
I don't know if I like that because
I don't.
because like the whole point of any RPG or any video game is you have to get better generally, especially in an RPG context. I mean,
I feel like
No,
this game
I like
is
it.
a little too open. I love it to death, and it's one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games. It is up there with Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword for me. It's in my top 5.
he's in top 5 of like most of the games.
Hold on. I think that kind of works for Link though. Zelda getting kidnapped triggers all of his past lives, and he's like, "Fuck it, I don't need the Master Sword. I can do this shit on my own."
But I feel like if they had put it in a way where it was like there is urgency to what Link is doing, and there isn't, and the pacing feels weird to me. Like, I'm in a game where you wake up 100 years after your past defeat, and you need to go do plot, but also I can go catch fish for the next hour and a half, and it doesn't matter.
But that's kind of how a lot of other games like that are.
I get that.
Technically.
But I don't feel like it fits within the context of like versus Skyrim, the plot to that is dragons.
Fairly dire though.
Very-
But they kind of
So, what about Mass Effect?
yeah, Mass Effect's a good example.
Mass Effect is an RPG. They say it's open world, but it's not truly open world.
because everything's kind of connected.
Because you can't go fully in, like,
You can't.
you
just
have a
explore
set
space all the way.
limit of where you can go on a planet or a city and stuff. Sure, you can go to different systems in that, and depending on where you are in the game, what level and quests and stuff, you can get to different ones, but you're still
moving
always
forward.
moving forward.
You know?
There is no drive to continuously move
Like-
forward. I told you, I'm 20 hours into the
Yeah.
game, and I haven't done any of the main quests.
That's the impression I
in
get.
a Legend of Zelda game.
Where there
Yeah.
has to be a lot of tension to say, hey, I've got to get the drive to save the princess. Very basic,
Yeah.
but that's something that's missing. And you used Mass Effect as an example.
I used Mass Effect because you have that main quest always there, but the side quests,
move you towards.
and not necessarily. They can move you forwards. It can break it up so it gives you more backstory of your main quest. But it's
I'm trying to not be spoilery and like
You know what?
give up
I
plot.
think that's why I like Final Fantasy 15 over Fallout 4, because it took me like a year and a half to finally beat Fallout 4. But Final Fantasy 15, I still haven't beaten it yet, but that's just because everything has been coming out in rapid succession.
Playing new games is eating up a lot of time.
And Final Fantasy
believe
15, there is no break to that story.
well,
Almost every side quest you do has something to do with the story. All the interactions have something to do with the characters, so they're always building off of each other. And
that's a good thing.
Yeah, and there's no break to it. Like, that main story point is always there
Okay.
to remind you of something.
I'm gonna put a small spoilers tag here.
Small spoilers, I'll put it in the thing.
Don't ruin the ending.
I haven't beaten the game.
No, I thought you were.
I'm bringing this back into my original. What my problem was.
Okay.
Is that most of the game so far has been running around, completing shrines to prove that I am the chosen hero or something like that.
Yeah.
100 years ago, Link didn't do any of that shit. He found the Master Sword, traveled with Princess Zelda, fight Calamity Ganon. The thing that he did.
That's it.
Now it's free the 4 beasts, find Master Sword, save Zelda. These shrines are explained as stuff left by the Sheikah, the old race that was super generic RPG, ancient race with technology.
Gotta have that.
Ancient gods, got it.
But when I'm doing it, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun and I'm really, really enjoying playing it. But it's like Zelda is literally being tortured by Ganon right now, and I can literally go stop it.
Look, man, she's just in a cell. He's feeding her pizza. They're playing Smash Bros. They're having a good time.
It
But
is
you
kind of
get
weird.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
It's
I
kind of
have
weird.
the ability to go save
Why
her.
not go do that right
Why
away?
not go save her?
That should be the end thing.
Like how
It should be blocked off. It should be, I need to complete a thing to
Well,
get strong enough to go there.
Kind of like it was in Ocarina of Time. Like you had the option to kind of see where you were going to go, but you couldn't quite get in there yet.
Like, I get it's an open world. I get you want to give players freedom. But you should, like, the castle is surrounded by this weird barrier thing.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting, okay, I need to get strong enough to break the barrier. No, I just ran in there. And I was in there, and I was fighting the enemies, and I wasn't dying, and
Weird.
I was like, why don't I just finish the game now? Oh yeah, because I want to get the true ending, so I probably need to do everything. Okay, I'm gonna leave now.
But that gives you the incentive.
Bye, Zelda.
So you're saying basically there is a point where it's too open world.
This game is too open.
All right.
Well, I guess Link to the Past did that first, didn't they?
You couldn't just run to the end boss.
You
Yeah,
die.
you could.
I think you died.
No, you can straight up just go to Ganon, and you can still
lose.
win.
No,
Really?
no.
I don't think
no.
that's correct.
You
Because
can.
No.
I've seen it be done.
I have cheat codes.
No, like just straight up. You can just go straight to him through like secret passages and shit.
I will admit I'm not an expert, but didn't that game come out in like 92? I'm pretty sure they didn't do that.
They did though.
Well, getting back to this point, I think that it is interesting that there might be a possibility of a game being too open world, and I like Mass Effect as an example because you kind of had an open world and you had other quests, but even the small quests, you learn more about the plot, and it still kind of moved you forward. And the base template for Mass Effect, my favorite RPG of all time, the original Knights of the Old Republic, you had the option of going to those different planets. Each planet had its own individual story, but they were all connected, and you could go to each spot, and then it would eventually allow you to do the final piece. So you had the option of exploring where you'd go, but it was all leading to the same point. So I like that. Sort of semi.
I feel like this game would be better if they locked off the final mission area until
Yeah.
it made sense.
like most games do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying the open world and everything about it, the sound design, the gameplay itself. Maybe weapons degrade a little too fast. Maybe shields don't work for as long. Bows break relatively quickly.
Can't surf on pots as long as you'd like.
Basically, the game itself is very enjoyable, and I'm really liking it. It has one major flaw for me.
What's that?
Being too open.
It's way too open. I'm the kind of person that, like, legitimately invests in Link's quest to save Zelda.
Yeah.
And as Link, if I know that I can just go save Zelda, I'm gonna just go do it.
Makes sense.
There's nothing... All the questing, I feel like, for me, it hasn't been Link doing the questing because it's fun and the questing will make him stronger. It's because the questing is a necessity to be able to find Zelda.
Which should be the way
Period.
it is. Yeah.
Hero saves Princess from evil wizard.
101.
Save world.
It's RPG 101.
If Hero can go to wizard and kick wizard ass,
No point for
Hero
story.
go kick wizard ass. Story is
You're
pointless.
still making it too complicated. Save world, get girl.
But basically,
It's basically the same.
it's basic fantasy storytelling. I mean, you go to the evil sorcerer was cast to save the princess. But on the journey to get there, there's stuff in the way. There's either things you have to fight first that are blocking your path, or things you have to get, people you got to meet. This is basic stuff, but there's that incentive. You have to do these things because if you could somehow go to the wizard, which you shouldn't be able to, obviously, they couldn't just teleport to Sar. Oh yeah, eagles. Never mind. But the point is, if you did, you die because you've got to level up or find your magic weapon and get your friends together. Basic stuff.
But in this
Where's
game,
the filler?
in this game, there is. You probably won't be strong enough to defeat Ganon. Go free these things from his control. I'm Link. I think I can take this. And then you go there, and then you take this, and then you win.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
That shouldn't be a thing.
That's really weird.
That's my number one criticism, and I think that's my.
It's only one, but it's just kind of it's small, but it is kind of important, though.
Yeah, I love this game to death. It just needed a little more polish.
Sounds accurate to me.
All right.
Well,
on to Gimli.
Yes, finally.
Gimli.
Son
of Gimli.
What is your topic tonight, sir?
So mine's completely different from probably anyone's
That's
here.
fine.
That's fine.
So my brother is playing Witcher 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Great game.
Good game.
Awesome game.
Indifferent.
It's
I
good.
played Witcher 2.
It's good.
Personally, I had a really hard time getting through the tutorial.
Yeah. It's a hard game, though.
It took me probably...
I played through.
It took me a long time to get through.
I played through 80%
the
of that
tutorial.
game, did one quest wrong, and needed to restart the entire game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's one of those games where if you screw up bad. Like, real bad. So, my thought was, okay, if I want to run a Witcher Pathfinder game, what class would a Witcher be? And I was talking to Tiefling at work, who was, we were discussing whether or not a Witcher would be an archetype or a prestige class, and if it was an archetype, would it be a ranger archetype?
I feel like it would make the most sense being a ranger archetype.
I want to say a ranger.
I feel like a prestige class would fit more.
I feel like a full-out ranger archetype would work better because you're not just a regular dude
No.
that then becomes a Witcher later in life. It's kind of like a thing that you were selectively... I don't want to say born into, but that's like the way that it seems.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait, why are we limiting ourselves?
based
Just do
upon
both.
Well, I feel like realistically, it's kind of multiple classes. I remember when I played Witcher, I kind of felt like he was sort of like a druid. Honestly.
Sort of,
like a druid,
figured-
like it's a like a druid.
a druid,
Barbarian.
ranger, but also a like one level an alchemist.
Monk
because
though, there's some monk stuff too.
With all the hand-to-hand.
All the hand-to-hand
Yeah.
stuff.
Which is why I'm saying archetype it so that you're changing abilities so that they fit the character you're trying to build. Like the ranger's favorite enemy thing that gives them bonuses to attack. Change that so it requires a knowledge DC, but then it can be applied to any monster. If I know about it, I know how to kill it. That's how Geralt works.
Yeah, he's all based on knowledge, which is kind of like a wizard, or in this case, a witch,
A sorcerer.
That's
sorcerer.
A sorceress.
well, a source. Yeah, really, it's more.
Because you haven't, I haven't seen a male sorcerer. It's always sorceress, and
Or
the
witch.
male is a druid. I haven't seen
there
any
are
other.
Druidess.
there's druids, witches, and sorceresses, and that's and witchers, and then the weird, crazy monsters.
Yeah,
Talking
There,
about in the game?
I think there might have been a guy that called himself a paladin at some point, but he didn't really use any magic. He was probably just a really high level fighter.
he was a beast knight.
That and there's witch hunters too.
Yes.
Look, man, we just need more bards. More like first edition badass bards, even stronger than the paladin.
I'm fine with that. But yeah, so what did we determine as the final example for the Witcher class?
We didn't.
It would be a ranger.
A ranger.
A ranger that multi-classed one level into almost every class.
All right, but the primary base class would be ranger. Now, what other classes would be included?
I would call it straight up ranger because of the multitude of like the different fighting styles that rangers can have. He would definitely have some sort of monk ability because of their skill in unarmed combat. They would have levels in alchemist because of brewing potions, and they'd have a level in either druid or sorcerer, whichever one would give them their better magic.
Yeah,
I'd say probably druid.
Their connection
to the natural world is a big part of the Witchers, which always seemed druidic to me. So, primary ranger, some monk, some druid,
and all of these are conflicting.
So in Pathfinder this wouldn't work because you could wear armor to block your spell. So it's obviously a completely different system. So it would. Okay, what would be the closest way to do it?
As a ranger, you can still cast spells.
Yeah, but it's just not really a proficiency.
You have to get really high, but
well, theoretically, the Witchers are automatically high level anyway.
Yes,
which is why I'm calling this a ranger archetype.
Yeah,
which is why I was thinking prestige class too.
Okay.
Like, you could still have the ranger as a ranger, but then sort of as a prestige class, give them that favored enemy with the DC check and stuff, because you're a Witcher. You're going to have ridiculous saves at that point.
Definitely.
And then
you would give them their regenerative health. You would give them
it'd be
armor.
like every other level.
Vision. You give them the cool things that Geralt is known for. That most Witchers. You haven't played Witcher.
Yeah.
You very obviously would be lost. You talk about anime. Well, we talk about Dragon Ball Z in front of fucking Wheeler. Okay, you can last like another 10 minutes talking about the Witcher.
Yeah, but I didn't cry at the name of Tambourine.
Babe, look, to be honest, I've only played like some of Witcher 2, so my knowledge is limited. But the thing that impressed me the most about The Witcher is, in terms of just like detailed RPG storylines, that is dense.
Yes.
That is a dense, detailed lore.
Thick. It is based off of like
actual
a Tolkien-esque book.
Like it's ridiculous. Like if you get into The Witcher, that's not a light experience. Not in terms of gameplay. Like God, the combat system is rough. It's hard to perfect getting good at that game.
It had been simplified a little bit in Witcher 3, so that it is accessible,
but not by much.
But it is still
Witcher 2. I remember like just trying to figure out how to use spells efficiently, and you lose magic quickly.
Oh yes,
you have to conserve that because I'm like, I can spam some things, but the enemies keep coming, and you've got to go through ridiculous puzzles, and not to mention the fact
the problem
that
I have with The Witcher is that you seem to
the health.
Other than the health, is that you can't drink a potion in combat when it would make or apply an oil.
Well, with Witcher 3 you can.
With Witcher 3 you can, which is like my biggest this is how it should work. I get not drinking healing potions because the way that they work in universe is that you have like a 50-50 shot of surviving that shit. But with like a poison or an oil, applying that to your blade is as simple as just now it's on my blade and I can fight you with it.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's a cool aspect. But no, The Witcher is really awesome. It's a series that I want to get more into. But man, it's not for the faint of heart.
It's dense.
A Witcher also has bombs.
The Witchers have bombs.
But yeah, they do grenades and stuff.
That'd be alchemist.
That's an alchemist. Alchemist does seem to really fit.
Brewing potions.
This is why I told people when I worked at GameStop that Witcher and Skyrim were life choices, not video games.
Yeah.
Well,
in a sense, yes.
You got to dedicate some time into. It's like any other franchise, like
No.
Well, okay. To use an anime example, you could be a hardcore Dragon Ball fan and a fan of a couple other anime series, and then Gundam. There are people that aren't into anime but like Gundam because Gundam is in and of itself ridiculous.
Gundam's a lifestyle.
Gundam's intimidating.
I love Gundam so much.
But how much Gundam have you seen?
All of it.
No, that's impossible.
Let's see. I've seen the original Gundam. I've seen Zeta Gundam. I've seen the Double Zeta Special. Have you
seen Gundam Wing?
I've seen all of Gundam Wing. I've seen Mobile Suit Gundam like Fighter G or whatever, the one with Domon.
Jeez.
I've seen Unicorn Gundam. I've seen Seed. I've seen the Seed sequel. I've seen Double O.
Life Choice Gundam.
I
right
have
here.
seen.
All of them.
It's a lot.
No, I've skipped some that I just think are stupid. Outright, there are a couple that are just dumb.
But my point is
The current one, Iron Blooded Orphans,
which was good, I finally understand. But Witcher is thick. Did we give you a good enough answer, Gimli?
Yes.
What would you say? You said prestige. You were thinking.
I'm still leaning towards prestige, only because there's too many
abilities.
multi-classes that, like...
You need to be able to throw 17
Right.
different classes together, and the only way to do that is to make your own class.
Yeah.
But
Which-
to not make
But-
your own fucking class.
But in order to make it a class just by itself is
Ridiculous.
too much.
Yeah. Be broken.
So-
His base would be a Slayer.
No.
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 It's a Ranger Rogue combo.
Yeah,
So
He's not
No.
a rogue, really.
I'm
though.
still leaning
Geralt
more.
is no rogue.
He's not a rogue.
No.
That's fine.
Stealth is not his thing.
I'm still leaning towards the prestige, only because it would have different
I think it
requirements.
would be a low-level access prestige if it was a prestige.
It would
You'd have to
definitely depend on how you would multi-class, because I think the requirements that I would put to have it as prestige would be high.
Every single level would need to give you so many abilities.
Like craft a potion,
Craft potion.
you would have to have that as a requirement.
You have to have craft potion. You need to have unarmed combat. You need to have proficiency in a weapon. You would need
Right.
to have basic attack bonus of at least the level that you started at. You need to have a full BAB class. You would need to.
Which is it's mostly ranger or fighter or barbarian.
Yep.
True. Yeah, there are definitely some.
There's so many more on top of that you would probably need.
But you would also have to take something in alchemist or druid, just so that way you had that knowledge
Alright.
of magic.
Gimli, I feel like we've determined The Witcher is basically a combination of most classes.
Yeah.
But is there any like base class that The Witcher is really not? That could be a real answer.
Wizard,
Yeah,
cleric.
He's no cleric. He is no cleric.
There are some healing potions.
No.
No,
Healing potions. There's
because-
no divine magic.
That's true.
He's no paladin.
So holy magic's out.
Holy magic's out. I'd say wizard is out too.
Yeah.
Sorcerer,
It's in his blood, but he wasn't born with it.
right. So sorcerer
Witch
is
is out because he
witch
doesn't do
maybe.
hexes or curses. So you're left with druid.
druid, semi-sorcerer.
No Arcanist.
No.
No.
Arcanist.
No.
No. No.
Even Magus would be out, I think.
I think Magus would work a little bit.
A little bit, but not really.
Not really well. Swashbuckler might work a little bit, just for the main combat focus.
Not Cavalier.
Not Cavalier.
No.
Not Samurai.
No.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, kind of, but they're too holy.
What about
Yeah, they're holy.
Vindicator?
Okay, you need to go somewhere.
No, he doesn't. What do you think, Gimli? Final thought.
Prestige class.
Prestige.
Prestige. All right. Well, I did have a good topic to kind of end things on. Unless we sneak in a brief Dragon Ball conversation, but this is something everyone could participate in. We did a brief Logan review a couple days ago, and we were talking about it a little bit drinking before this. And Will and Base and Tiefling couldn't really join us for some reason. You guys left because you're
Well, you
busy.
wanted to go home.
Yeah, some wanted to go take a ride or something.
Nick
It's
wouldn't
fine.
let me into the car.
Nick, whatever. The point is, I wanted to get more of your guys' thoughts, and I also had first just a general discussion about Logan again, and then a question I wanted to pose to you after that. But just give me your thoughts briefly on Logan again.
Again? When did we give it to you in the first place?
I
Like
gave
an
it-
hour ago.
Yeah. Okay.
That movie made me cry.
That movie was, I think, the saddest movie I've seen in a while. They underpowered
The shit.
Wolverine so much
Oh,
in
yeah.
that movie.
Oh yeah,
Old Man Logan kicked so much more ass than that.
Yeah, he
definitely.
I didn't watch your review.
That's okay.
I've been staying away from Wolverine
memories.
stuff right now.
We
By
didn't
the
go
end
into
of
too
that-
much detail. That's
By
fine.
the end of that movie, I was legitimate. I didn't want to, and I was legitimately crying.
Well, it's sad.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
Very
honestly,
depressing.
the Charles Xavier, his first scene almost made me cry because
seeing the state that it was in.
seeing the state that he was in and the state that my grandmother was in at one point. There were some very similar parallels, and I was just like,
The final scene of
oh my god.
understanding that Logan didn't betray him, that
Ooh,
was his
that
son.
twist, yeah.
the whole father-son thing kind of was very apparent in this movie.
Yeah, definitely that relationship there was strong.
Oh man, it's so good.
Very good.
This movie is flawed. Like, it's not really about a lot. It's kind of a road trip movie.
Yeah.
I really
in of
like how
itself,
they changed the extinction of the mutants from
That was different.
It being
Kill 'em all.
Wolverine being tricked by what's his name again, Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Yeah, to Charles Xavier having a brain disease and losing control of his powers.
Killing some of the X-Men.
All of
Them.
All
He
of
killed
the
main
X-Men.
crew.
Well, yeah. It said in the thing it was like he killed like 600 people and 7 X-Men.
Yeah.
So-
and it was the main
We
7 minus Logan.
Minus-
And Logan was very obviously there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would have survived because he's Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge tale of forgiveness and just the fact that he cared for him, even though he did accidentally kill.
Everyone he cared
Everyone.
about.
Would he
cares
have though? Because if you stop his brain from functioning, period, Wolverine's just dead.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, the whole actually no. Wolverine, like we said, they depowered him for this movie. But Wolverine
would have
like
survived
Cell.
that last shot.
Wolverine is like a very a much less powerful version of Perfect Cell. Until every cell is disintegrated from his body, regeneration is still possible.
No, it's canonical. It's just his brain you need to destroy.
Maybe, but this is the thing. Okay, but then again, there's the adamantium skull too.
Right.
So he's basically invulnerable.
He was super deep.
I know
depowered
that.
for this.
I know that.
Even his healing factor was depowered.
Yeah.
Because
A lot.
regular, even old man Logan would have survived that tree shot.
Yeah, totally. Because like the fact that he died from, I know it's ridiculous to say that it's a normal wound, but he
A
should have.
Wolverine normal wound.
Yeah,
A
Wolverine.
normal. I guess they're going with
survive.
the drugs turned off his powers or something.
No. What they did was they took how in common continuity, adamantium is very radioactive, and it fusing with his skeleton to create beta adamantium. Over time, the radiation became so powerful that there was a complete degradation of his powers
Yeah.
and his body.
And that's why they implied it's basically like cancer inside him that's killing him, essentially. Which is fine. Plus, he is like 200 years old plus or something. So
He's
Yeah.
like
A lot.
4 or 5.
Well, he was born
he was
in their
born in
continuity. He was born in
early 1800s.
early 1800s,
Oh, yeah, never
and it
mind
was
that.
It's 2029. He's 250 years old almost. Probably.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He's old.
Yeah.
Old man Logan.
So he didn't look as old, actually.
he would have lived longer if not for the adamantium skeleton.
But actually, give me your final thoughts briefly before we move on to my question. Because I know you talked about it a little bit, but anything else
I
you want
didn't.
to
I wasn't actually there for the review. I would give that movie a solid A.
I would give that movie an A+.
Okay, wow, all right.
Okay.
Leaning towards A plus for me, but there were just some things that.
Just little things.
So
Was it Laura?
No, she did good with what she was given. That
No,
wasn't really.
I mean her biology. Because it's just her claws that are coated in adamantium.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm still questioning where they found enough adamantium to give X-24 a full adamantium skeleton, but
That's
not-
full clone because it's just they took cells from Logan after it infused with his cells. I assume
I mean,
you don't
that doesn't-
grow adamantium.
It's
Yeah.
not biological.
his son in the Ultimate Universe did,
Well, Dawkins not the best.
not Dakin.
Look,
Dakin got the surgery.
I'm willing to.
Dakin got the surgery, but he has this son in the Ultimate Universe named like Jonathan or something like.
Yes.
His body produces a natural metal.
That's
dumb and non-canon.
That's dumb and also not canon. But this is the thing though. It's a comic book movie, so I'd be willing to let it kind of slide.
Nah, it's a video game movie. It's The Last of Us.
It is
The
the Last of Us.
That movie was The Last of Us.
Any more thoughts?
Okay, so-
I gotta ask my question still.
what's your question overall? What just my thoughts.
Oh, just about
Still.
Logan right now. Then I got another question though. It's a two-part thing.
It's sad, really sad.
Yeah.
If we
If
haven't
they put
already
that Deadpool-
established
If they
that.
put that Deadpool teaser at the end, everyone would have booed the living
That's
shit
why I'm
out
glad
Oh,
they
yeah.
did that at first, because that would have
Yeah.
been the most jarring tonal shift ever. That would have been like trolling.
Sad. I think I mentioned in the review, the only thing that I saw at that time that I didn't like was no subtitles for the Spanish.
The Spanish.
But then again,
We were seeing it from Logan's
we
perspective.
right.
Yeah.
Which is
And
why the scenes that just had Laura in it just kind of stopped once Laura walked away from Logan. That movie was from Logan's perspective.
right.
True.
So I couldn't really fault that.
He had a panic attack and tuckered himself out. Now he has to sleep in the middle of the
He had
road.
a little attack. He gotta lie down and wakes up in hospital. How the fuck did I get that?
Yeah.
Did she murder that guy?
No,
I think
that's
she
the doctor.
murdered
That's the
that guy.
doctor.
That the doctor?
because
Was
she
it
saw
the
his truck.
doctor?
Because remember, that's the truck she saw, and then
No, that doctor
No.
did on the truck.
I could have sworn it was
the
a
guy
younger
going
dude.
fishing.
No, it was a much younger guy
Oh,
and a
yeah.
dog going fishing.
I think I think she just stole the truck while he was really far away.
I think she murdered that guy.
No, I think she killed his dog, and while he was grieving,
I'm pretty
she stole
sure
the
it's the
truck.
same guy. but
Either that or she knocked him out and they're just like,
Bruh, she murdered the shit out of that guy.
new dog. All right. Okay, I'll tell you what. Any more thoughts?
Oh, Rufio was the best character in that movie, by the way. New Rufio.
Richard?
The psychic, the older boy from their group, the psychic kid that dropped the truck on
the truck.
Yeah, new Rufio.
New Magneto.
New Rufio.
Yeah.
New
Magneto.
New Fio.
Nufio.
New V. Oh.
New I can't wait to see more of him. Not.
It might happen, actually.
I would be about it if that's the universe that they're going to go with.
They might.
I kind of forget what I said in the review already.
That's okay. We'll move on to the question. You can
all
put that-
I remember is that it's really sad.
All right,
for the
well,
most part.
I'm going to give you can have the camera on me, and this is my question. You can go to base, and then we'll come back around to me. Okay, here's a question for you guys. We talked about it a little bit, but in your opinion, what is your favorite movie in the entire X-Men franchise? I'm sorry, base, first to go. Think about it for a second and give me your answer.
Logan with X2 is a close second.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, first, because Logan, in my opinion, was a near perfect movie. X2, because it was the most...
X-Men E?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, X-Men of the original trilogy. I mean, 1 did a pretty good job setting things off, and 3 was just
3.
bad. I don't like to remember 3 exists, but I own 3.
Oh,
I bought the trilogy.
I own 2.
yeah.
I own 2.
Like, yeah, that was a pretty good X-Men movie.
All right. Tiefling, well, what would you say your favorite is?
I personally say that my favorite... I might actually have to go with Apocalypse.
Okay. That's an unpopular opinion, but why is that?
It felt like... Well, okay. Like, Logan's my favorite.
Okay.
Logan, the Wolverine, but those aren't X-Men movies. Those are Wolverine.
They're in the X-Men franchise.
No, those are
Those are Wolverine movies.
But they're in the X-Men continuity universe.
Apocalypse felt like the most
accurate.
X-Men E, other than X2.
So I felt about it, actually.
Like, I go into the movies and I want to see the X-Men and Wolverine, of course.
Wait, did you
Wolverine's
say
my
Apocalypse
favorite.
or Days of Future Past?
I said Apocalypse.
Oh.
Why not Days of Future Past, though?
I thought Days of Future Past was pretty good.
But people were raving about that one.
I guess I would have... they're close for me.
Okay.
I guess I like Days of Future Past more because... Wolverine.
Wolverine's the center of it, it's true.
Yeah. I don't know.
You guys are... You know,
First Class was really good.
you got to give me an answer. Now you're just naming movies.
They're good movies.
They're all.
You guys are missing one. And no, they're all included. You could say Deadpool. He's an X-Men movie.
You could.
It's technically
No.
X-Men. Hey,
No.
Colossus
No.
and
No.
Megatonic Sea Agent. No?
No, that's a Deadpool movie.
It's not a team.
Okay.
If we're going with the team movies, final answer,
Apocalypse.
X2.
Okay. Don't seem so defeated about it.
I don't know. My favorite is Logan. Move on. Go away.
Okay, Gimli.
I like Logan and the Wolverine.
Okay.
And the Wolverine.
I would have accepted those answers.
I'll go with the Wolverine if we can't go with Logan.
I like the Wolverine. I actually really like the Wolverine.
I didn't see the Wolverine.
What?
You need to see the Wolverine.
What?
That's awesome, man. Where he fights the Silver Samurai.
I didn't.
How the fuck they gonna put the suit in the end credits for the Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman never wore it?
Are you fucking serious?
Hey, but there was a reference to the Wolverine. He had the samurai sword in his home.
That mean Dawkins alive in that universe?
To be fair, Logan might be just another altered universe, so they could still make more Wolverine movies technically, because it might not be the same universe.
They're not making any more Wolverine movies.
They will eventually. They'll just
Eventually.
Well,
When they sell back to the Marvel Universe,
eventually.
and it is the final Avengers movie.
He's going to dress up in
Wolverine-
yellow spandex.
No, he's gonna do the orange and black because that's the best costume.
Yep.
That is the best costume.
And then, who's gonna pop up behind him is Deadpool, and it's gonna get R-rated out of fucking nowhere.
That'd be great. All right, Gimli, your answer. Your favorite X-Men.
My favorite X-Men, X2.
Ooh.
Though, First Class is a close second.
Okay, tell me why.
As much as people don't like First Class, I kind of enjoyed it. Only
Class is really good.
I like it for one reason. Havoc didn't die in it.
Havoc's cool.
Havoc might be one of my favorite X-Men.
I liked it
Good choice.
because it had that like early like team
Team
group,
atmosphere.
but also the tension in it between like Magneto and the
Charles.
Professor.
and like two opposite views but working together and just having that tension and just
That they were all working for the same goal, but the way that they wanted to achieve it was so vastly different.
and just the way that the characters interacted and overall the plot was good, so that was a
But
close.
X2.
But
X2 is it's still like the pinnacle for a lot of people.
Right.
And for a long time, it was the best X-Men movie for a long time.
There's a reason First Class and Apocalypse aren't higher up on my list. First Class because they killed Darwin. That was your first fucking mistake.
Darwin went out pretty ridiculously after they established he shouldn't have. I like Darwin a lot. He was cool.
Darwin is a character that adapts to literally everything. When Worldbreaker Hulk was destroying the world, they were like, Darwin can do this. Teleported away. His body said, that's how you survive.
That's how you survive the Hulk, is to not be there.
And X-Men Age of Apocalypse, the scenes building up to the final fight took way too long.
The final fight itself was kind of a letdown. Angel was just kind of
Well,
bitched out by a car.
well, to be fair, the thing about the final fight with that, yeah, some of the other members of the Four Horsemen weren't quite as awesome, but I did like that everybody had to team up to defeat Apocalypse.
I also don't like Jean Grey and Mystique. Mystique I just don't like as a character, and I don't think Jennifer Lawrence has done a good job at all playing her.
She's gotten better, I think.
No.
She's gotten better as an actress,
But not as Mystique.
Mystique,
Well-
the Mystique that was in the movie wasn't Mystique.
They turned her into a hero.
She didn't emote at all.
Well,
Not once.
I suspect, and I know that some people might disagree on this, Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress and everything, but I've always kind of felt that she never had as much heart in the Mystique character. And when I saw her first in First Class, which I didn't see Hunger Games or even Winter's Bone, so my first exposure to her was X-Men, and being the fanboy, I was like, man, where's the original chick Mystique?
Yeah.
She's so, and I was like that.
The original Mystique, when there was an accident on set where Hugh Jackman accidentally stabbed her through the arm with one of his claws, she was like, holy shit, I just got stabbed by Wolverine.
Yeah.
Where is that kind of emotion?
Well, yeah, she was really into it, and she played the creepiness. But to be fair, this is a younger Mystique. But anyway, that's
the Mystique didn't feel like she would have been a villain at all.
Also,
Also,
in First
Jean
Class,
Grey didn't emote as much either, and I really didn't like how they portrayed her character.
I liked her actually in Apocalypse. I thought she did a good job with.
Also, the smartwatch that Xavier wore through that entire fucking movie.
What about we bitching about the smartwatch?
He was wearing a smartwatch for the entirety of the scene where he launched the missiles. and throughout that entire movie.
He had a smartwatch on when it was supposed to be the past.
Well, hey, future tech.
No, fuck off.
Future tech.
You can have 90s future tech. You can have hollow watches. I don't care.
When I was viewing Apocalypse and I saw the scene where Jean Grey let Wolverine go, I was like, oh, cool. They're gonna do a universe where they don't end up fucking because he met her as a kid. And I'm like, I want to see where that goes.
That tension was starting right there, boy.
Fuck that noise.
Actually, by the way, that part was really awesome. The whole weapon. That was basically a Weapon X movie for like 10 seconds. With the big old school goggles. I'm like, oh, it's Weapon X.
The old school goggles and the tiny whiteys.
And the little like wires. Well, that's really great.
Marvel has a fetish for having Wolverine fuck Jean Grey. It's kind of annoying.
No, not really. He's always
their relationship's at least better than Batman and Barbara Gordon.
Look, he's always wanted to get with her, but to be honest, most of the time Logan is held back because he respects her relationship with Scott.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Actually, he does. He does.
I'm just messing with you.
No, really, for real. Like he does want to. He's always been madly in love with her more than anybody, but she doesn't love him. It's like the most unrequited thing ever, but he still loves her.
Also,
and puts up with it day to day.
Apparently, there's a part of Jean Grey that's still alive in Logan's brain because the Phoenix Force resides in his brain and is keeping a piece of her consciousness alive.
Way off base.
And it's fucking stupid.
X-Men comics get.
Look, Logan's coming back from the dead, and I can't wait to see what they're doing with him.
Exactly. It will, for real. But
they're going to have Logan meet Old Man Logan.
That'd be cool.
Oh my god. What the fuck's the matter with you? Poison? What's poisoning you? You'll find out.
But I guess I could give my answer. Well, for a long time, I would have said X-Men 2. X-Men 2 is... I feel like if I went back and watched it again, it would probably still be my favorite. Like, I think X-Men 2 is a really good movie.
I can bring it over. We can watch it this weekend.
That'd be awesome.
No, we can't.
I have all three.
Wait, fucking DVD player. You don't know me.
You know what we're doing Saturday, right?
Fuck Phantasm.
That's Sunday.
I could be scheduled, actually. I don't know. Anyway, maybe we'll find out. I'm cool with X-Men 2. Shannon would like that.
X2. X-Men Day?
Fuck it. Why not? We'll change it. It's fine. But anyway.
I'm really looking forward to Phantasm, though.
There might be Anyway, off topic, we'll find out. But X-Men 2 for a long time. But then X-Men First Class, though, I thought was really a great throwback to the classic 1960s feel of the comics, and I really like the color. I really like the combination of the blue and yellow. I like the youth of the characters starting in the school. But to be honest, though, and this might sound ridiculous, but not First Class.
No, X2.
No, X2. Those are probably my favorites.
One? You were talking about the fucking yellow and blue colors.
I was, but I was leading up to. I do like that feel, and I like the actual feeling of X-Men-iness that Tiefling was talking about, and I like X-Men Apocalypse. I know it's kind of a standard story, and they go over some themes before, but Magneto was awesome in it. Like the part where he's trying to just be a normal dude.
Quicksilver scene.
Even the one in Days of Future Past, Quicksilver, even better, was Sweet.
I'm still mad that they killed off Havoc, though.
Yeah.
True.
I think
Young Nightcrawler was great.
I think the Magneto that they're using...
Nightcrawler? Yes.
I think the Magneto that they're using currently is actually a lot better than Sir Ian McCullen.
What? Tell me why. Fassbender? You think Fassbender's better than
Fassbender grows up to become McKellen.
Yes, but I think his performances are better than McCullen.
I feel like the performances are different because Magneto is at a different stage in his life.
I'll be honest though, I have a hard time believing they're the same character. Do you know why? Because but Fassbender seems to have this cold, evil aspect that always
because he was tortured on the inside.
But and to be fair, they are a different timeline now. McKellen, because he's Sir McKellen, that means he always seems very gentlemanly, refined. He's always very calm. Like young Fassbender gets really angry. Young Magneto gets angry. He's vicious. He's a killer.
He grew up,
but he's he
grew up to become God.
No, that changes the entire dynamic of the character because he's supposed to be fucking Malcolm X. Michael Fassbender portrays Malcolm X better than Sir Ian McCullen.
Guys, I can tell you one thing. Since Gimli's struggling to charge the camera...
No, I'm fine.
Well, wait, that does mean we have to wrap it up. But so X-Men Apocalypse is probably my favorite.
Good job.
No, that's my phone.
But I do have a question for you, though. This is really interesting.
All right.
You guys...
The New Republic? Not New Republic, but Old Republic?
Almost done with X-Men.
Sorry.
Almost done. I have one question, but it's interesting. This is a brief comment.
What?
None of us mentioned the first movie. The first movie's
I mentioned the first movie.
briefly,
Good.
but it's nobody's favorite anymore.
No. I don't think
It's better than 3.
Its favorite.
It was just wow. There's a
Because
good
it was the
superhero
fir-
movie
Wow, it's a good superhero movie. Wow, a really good superhero movie.
in 2000.
That shit? Like, wow, a good superhero movie. Dude, this fucking superhero movie. The fuck was that?
So you're saying from like
Yeah.
first X-Men to Logan, standards have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah.
That's true. Okay, but that's cool. Did you want to talk about the Old Republic Netflix
Did you
series?
see Did you see the quote unquote reported cast?
It's a rumor, but the rumor
Yeah.
that it might even be happening is still kind of cool because they've been talking
Yeah.
about doing a live action Star Wars show forever.
Like,
remember
all I
talking
need is
about-
Revan in things, doing Revan shit, and I will lose my goddamn mind.
That was a great statement. We didn't even say anything else. That was.
That's it.
I've decided that's going to be the clip for the beginning of this.
Good night, everybody. Have a magical night, and we'll see you next
They're not
time.
Magical Mondays anymore.
They're not.
Well,
It's Wizard.
ended on-
It's
ended on
Wizarding Wednesdays.
There we go.
There we go. I like that.
Magical what?
Wizarding Wednesdays.
Wizarding Wednesdays?
And
Yeah.
Magical
Well,
Mondays.
it's always MerlinCast. All right.
Every day's magical with Merlin.